You ever stand at a crossroad where one road looks safe, quiet, familiar, and the other, it's dark, uncertain, full of thorns and storms, but it calls you? That's life, right there. Life ain't sitting around waiting for you to make a perfect move. It's testing you. It's whispering, you gonna take the risk or lose the damn chance? I've been there, man, more times than I can count. And every single time I hesitated, every time I tried to play safe, I lost something inside me. You see, when you don't take the risk, you don't just lose the opportunity, you lose yourself. You lose that spark, that fire that says, I'm alive. You know what risk really is? It's the rent we pay for the right to live free. It's the proof that you trust the unknown more than your fear. When I was young, I had two choices, law school or acting. My daddy, God bless him, wanted me to be stable. And I get that. But deep down, I had this voice in me that said, man, you ain't built for a courtroom. You're built for the stage, for the screen, for stories. So I took the risk. I left safety for a shot at something real. And let me tell you, it didn't happen overnight. I got rejected, laughed at, broke, and lost. But that's the beauty of risk. It cleans you up. It burns your ego, strips you bare, and then rebuilds you with truth. You ever jump off a cliff into the water? That half second before you hit the water, that's risk. That's fear and faith dancing together. And life is full of those moments if you dare to live it. We all want guarantees, don't we? We want the insurance before the dream, but life don't work that way. You can't cross the ocean by staring at the shore. You got to sail even when the wind's against you. Take the risk, fall in love, start that business. Leave the town that's killing your soul. Speak your truth when your voice shakes. Because the truth is, comfort is a slow death risk. That's where the heartbeat is. You think you'll have another chance tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not. But I tell you what, the universe rewards motion, not hesitation. Every single great thing that ever happened to me, every role, every win, every transformation came from a moment of risk. When I said yes to the unknown, when I said, hell yeah, let's go, even when I had no map. And yeah, sometimes I failed. Sometimes I fell flat on my face. But failure ain't the opposite of success. It's the damn doorway to it. You don't grow in safety. You grow when you jump, when your heart's racing, your knees shaking, and you still leap. I remember once I was shooting this small movie. Nobody believed in it. They said, Matthew, it's too slow, too weird, too different. But I believed in that story, and so I said, let's do it anyway. That movie won me an Oscar. So don't you dare let people's fears become your limits. You can't live a big life inside a small comfort zone. Listen, risk ain't just about business or money. It's about honesty. It's about being who you really are when the world's telling you not to. It's about saying, this is me, and letting the chips fall where they may. You want to love deeply? That's a risk. You want to be true? That's a risk. You want to forgive someone who broke you? Hell, that's the biggest risk of all. But every time you choose it, every time you choose courage over comfort, you get closer to your highest self. And let me tell you something. The people who play safe, who hide behind fear, they don't fail big. No, they fail quietly. They live their whole life wondering, what if? And what if is a poison, my friend. Take the damn risk. Chase that dream. Call that person. Say the words. Start the thing. Move. Because one day the chance won't be there anymore. You see, the universe doesn't wait forever. It gives you moments, small windows, and if you don't jump, they close. Now, I ain't saying be reckless. I ain't saying burn every bridge or gamble your soul. I'm saying listen to your gut, that voice deep inside that whispers before logic screams. That's where the truth lives. That's where destiny hides. The greatest risk is not taking one, because the price of safety is regret. And regret, my friend, is the heaviest damn thing you'll ever carry. I've seen people in their old age sitting on porches, eyes full of, I wish I had. That's a heartbreak no man should bear. Don't live safe. Live true, live bold, be willing to look stupid for something you believe in, because that's the kind of stupid that changes the world. You want to know something? Every legend, every hero, every person who made something out of nothing, they all had one thing in common. They risked being wrong. They risked the fall. And because of that, they flew. So when life offers you a choice between certainty and courage, choose courage every damn time. You know what the biggest illusion is? That you've got time, that tomorrow will be the right day, that someday you'll be ready. You'll never be ready. The stars won't align. The universe won't send you a perfect sign. The only signal you'll ever get is the one pounding inside your chest right now. That heartbeat, that's your sign, man. Take the risk or lose the chance. I remember one night, 1998, I was sitting in my car, out of work, no money, no clue what's next. I looked in the mirror and I saw a man who was afraid of losing what little he had, afraid of becoming nothing. And then I realized I already was nothing if I didn't try. So I said, to hell with it, let's roll the dice. I went all in. And that night I promised myself, I'd rather fail being me than succeed being someone else's version of safe. You see, risk ain't about danger, it's about faith. Faith that there's something bigger waiting on the other side of fear. Every time I've said yes to that fear, something powerful happened. When I turned down the roles that were easy, when I walked away from fame to find meaning, when I sat alone, questioning who I really was, those were my biggest risks, and they became my biggest awakenings. Because the truth is, if you only move when it's easy, you'll never move at all. There's a price to every dream. You want to be great? Pay with fear. You want to love deeply? Pay with vulnerability. You want to live freely? Pay with uncertainty. And that's okay. Because what's the alternative? Living safe, silent, small? Hell no, that ain't living. That's just existing. You ever notice? When you take a leap, the world rearranges itself around your courage. Doors open, people appear, energy shifts. Because the universe doesn't respond to doubt, it responds to boldness. But you got to make the first move. You got to throw that first punch against fear. Sometimes you'll win, sometimes you'll lose, but every time you'll grow. And one day you'll look back and say, damn, I didn't have it all figured out, but I had the guts to try. That's the real victory. That's the kind of win nobody can take from you. Now I want to talk to the dreamers out there, the ones who feel like they've been waiting for permission. You don't need permission. You don't need approval. All you need is that crazy voice inside that says, go for it. Because nobody's coming to save you. Nobody's going to hand you your moment. You got to claim it. You got to fight for it. You got to say, this is my time, my shot, my story. And if I fail loudly, but I will not fade quietly. That's the warrior's way. That's the path of the brave. You ever heard the phrase, leap and the net will appear? Well, I say, leap and build your damn net on the way down. Because waiting kills dreams. Action builds destiny. And when you act from faith, when you jump, life meets you halfway, always. When I look back at my own path, from being a kid in Texas to standing on Hollywood stages, I realize every turning point began with risk. Every moment that mattered started with a step into the unknown. I risked my comfort. I risked my name. I risked being misunderstood. But I never risked my soul, because every risk I took was in service of who I truly was. So if you're listening right now and your gut's telling you to move, do it. Don't wait for the perfect plan, and don't wait for the right time. Don't wait for the applause, because if you don't take that step now, one day you'll sit in silence and whisper, what could have been? And those 4 words will haunt you more than any failure ever could. I say, live like your future's watching you, because it is. The man or woman you'll become is waiting to see what you'll do today. You want to be proud of that person? Then risk it all for something real. Stand up for your dream even when the world laughs. Run toward what scares you most, because that's where the treasure is buried, behind fear. Every scar, every bruise, every loss, they're not signs of weakness, they're badges of courage, proof that you tried. And when it's all said and done, when your story's written, don't let it say, he played safe. Let it say, he lived, he risked, he burned bright. So take that leap, start that journey, and make that call. Say those words. Tell that person you love them. Quit the job that's killing your fire. Move to that city and write that damn book. Paint that picture. Sing that song. Because you only get one ride, man. One wild, unpredictable, beautiful ride. And you either take the risk or lose the chance. When you walk off this stage or close this video, I don't want you to feel inspired for 5 minutes. I want you to feel awake, alive, ready, hungry, because the world doesn't belong to the safe, and it belongs to the bold, to the ones who bet on themselves, to the ones who say, I'll try, even if I fail, to the ones who live with fire in their chest and courage in their blood. So take a deep breath. Look yourself in the mirror tonight and ask, am I living or am I just waiting? And if the answer ain't living, then damn it, it's time. Time to risk, time to jump, time to become. Because when you take the risk, you don't just change your life, you change who you are. And that, my friend, is where the magic begins. So take the risk or lose the chance, but whatever you do, don't lose yourself. He pauses, looks at the audience, smiles that classic McConaughey smile. All right, all right, all right. Let's go get it.